you can do in these gray situations is to listen to these concerns and try to address them the best you can, first and foremost by asking your team members for suggestions on alternate ways of tackling them. Sales is sometimes like that. We say what we have to say to make the sale, up to a point at least, certainly not encroaching on anything of a legal nature. The expedient exaggeration of the truth, or LWL, little white lie, is part of the game. The buyers know this. Everyone knows this. Your company's product is always going to be better than the competition, even if it's not. A pharmaceutical rep is always going to downplay the side effects of a new wonder drug as extremely rare and cite the case study stats. What dummy salesperson is going to say otherwise? But here are examples of the types of sticky ethical situations millennial salespeople must grapple with. 1. During a phone conference, a buyer insists upon the product arriving in their warehouse by April 1st, or the deal is completely off. The previous day, the VP of Operations had openly said in a meeting, "There's no way in hell it's getting there before April 15th. The sales leader's answer to the buyer on the phone, "No problem, we'll make it." 2. A millennial rep tells his sales leader that the team's #1 salesperson wrote an inappropriate email. It had an off-putting tone, not of a harassment nature, to someone in another division of the company. The sales leader's answer to the employee, "Thank you for letting me know. I'll dig into it." 3. A young salesperson gets a total skip on a product from a key buyer. In a panic, he calls his sales leader from the parking lot and asks, "What should I do?" The sales leader tells his rep, "Go back in there right now and say that you can't accept anything less than 1,000 units. Tell her you'll get fired without the order." All three of the aforementioned scenarios actually occurred, with different people and in different companies. Guess what? In each of the three situations, the sales manager was right to varying degrees. 1. After the meeting with the buyer, the sales leader, who lied, shoots straight toward the office of the VP of Operations and begs him to shave off 2 weeks of production time so they can make the buyer's deadline. They work together and figure out how to make it happen. 2. The sales leader follows up as promised, and it turns out that the rep was correct. The email had an inappropriate tone. The sales leader gives the former #1 salesperson a severe verbal and written warning and instructs him to apologize to the recipient. An email is sent to HR documenting the incident along with evidence. The sales leader also personally calls the person on the receiving end of the offensive email and apologizes on behalf of his employee. 3. The rep goes from the parking lot back to his buyer's office. He tells the buyer the sad story that he needs the order or else he'll lose his job. The buyer feels bad and purchases the target quantity. All of those scenarios ended the way they should, right? Not exactly. In each circumstance, the millennial rep saw his supervisor as a bad leader. Huh? But doesn't the result matter most? Well, let's take another look at each scenario from the rep's perspective. 1. The only thing that sticks in the mind of the rep is the false date given to the buyer. It doesn't matter that the sales leader knows from experience that he can finesse the schedule with the VP of Operations and make it work after the fact. He is going against a specific statement made by the VP of Operations. 2. The rep assumes the sales leader has let the #1 salesperson get away with bad behavior. He goes to colleagues in HR to complain about the sales leader playing favorites. He has no idea that behind the scenes, the sales leader is holding that person accountable for his inappropriate behavior and that he smoothed over the situation with the offended party. 3. The rep receives the order, possibly, but feels that either A, his job would have been truly in jeopardy if he failed, or